Okay, welcome back everyone for another video playing Ultimate General American Civil War. I realized in my last video that, especially at the beginning, I was talking very quietly. I was kind of mumbling to myself. So I'm working to be more cognizant of my speaking and making sure that I'm clear when I'm speaking and also being a little bit louder. So later on, I'll have to listen to this and see if it sounds good or not. Um, so let's go ahead and read here about the Battle of Bull Run, and then we'll jump in. So it says July 21st, 1861, the Battle of Bull Run. Several miles to the east, the Confederate Army of P.G.T. Beauregard has deployed south of Bull Run River to guard Manassas Railroad Junction. From the other side, Brigadier General Irvin McDowell is leading the Union Army and is looking for a weak point to attack. The Confederate Army is stretched out to defend all possible river passages. Their left flank is vulnerable, and this is where the bulk of the Union Army is going to attack. At first, you are going to lead some of McDowell's troops in a decoy action at the Stone Bridge. Their mission will be to screen our primary flanking maneuver through Sedley Ford. Next, your army, backed by McDowell's main force, will launch a powerful attack from the west. The main objective will be to surprise and quickly overwhelm Beauregard's left flank before Joseph E. Johnston, Army of the Shenandoah, reinforces him. So we're going to have a diversionary attack here, make them think we're coming across the bridge, and then the real assault will take place from the north. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The rebels are guarding the Manassas Railroad Junction with strong forces, a few miles east of this location. Bull River is defended by several CSA brigades, and forcing our way through could be risky. It is advised to initiate a feint attack on this bridge with a small amount of regiments. Our main force can pass the river here and attack the left flank of the Confederate Army. If we act fast, the rebels will have no time to reinforce the area and will be forced off the field. Then we will move east and deal the final blow. We can end the war today, General. Good luck. Well, we will certainly see about ending the war today. I have my doubts, but General, we are ready to execute our diversionary attack on this stone bridge. Some rebel regiments are guarding the area. Advance with caution. In about an hour, our divisions will arrive and launch a full-scale attack on their flank. Until then, keep the rebels busy. Good luck, General. Okay, so we've got a couple of units here. We've got our units here up north. They will certainly take some time to get over here. And so while they are all getting in position, I'll tell you one of the things that is a little frustrating about this game is that you will have units going in places that don't really make sense. You would think that the units would stay in line, right? Loomis or Walton would come here, Loomis would be next, Scales would be there, and then Morris would be here. But as you can see, they get a little squirrely where Loomis kind of comes around the side and then comes down here. And so generally they do for the most part line up like that, but it's just kind of weird. And sometimes you'll have a weird thing happen where you give two units a move order and they end up crossing over each other. And that's just not helpful. That's just not helpful. It's not what I intended. But so be it. Just want to make sure we're giving them all good move orders. And then we'll move over here and see what's going on with our diversionary attack. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to set up a firing line right here. They've got a fortification here, so we're going to fire on this fortification. We're going to set up our artillery so it's relatively close, able to fire on them. However, we are not going to We are not going to try to cross the bridge unless there are no units holding this fortification and any other units are a little bit further back. And that is because if we click on a unit and then we put our cursor here over the bridge, we see that the bridge only offers 1% cover and you're only able to dish out 60% of your damage. And also you're only going 60% of your max speed. All of this means that our units are going to be very vulnerable on the bridge, and they're going to take a lot of damage. And I would much rather my units just be over here, outputting their maximum damage, getting 50% cover. This is going to be a much better. They're going to trade with the enemy a lot better doing that than they will trying to actually cross the bridge. And we'll have our artillery positioned to assist. So it will all be fine. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get Stockton out wide because I fear that if I just run him through the woods, there'll be a Confederate brigade over here that will see him first somehow and shoot him. So definitely don't want that. Pull up our supply wagon. We've been given some cavalry up here. And so this cavalry has a chance to cross over to the north. Honestly, I could take one of these guys and also go up north. That might be for the best. Just because the more men that we have over here, the more crowded it's going to be. I'm not sure that all of them will be able to fire on this fortification if we have 4 units trying to do it. So we'll cut it down to 3. We'll definitely be able to fit 3. Go ahead and get Stockton moving again. Again, we're pulling him out wide. Walton's making really good time. He's moving a lot faster than the other units for some reason. We'll get back to the fight over here. See if we can't turn first Ohio around, get a shot off. Looks like we can't. That's okay. We'll pull up our cavalry over here. Let's get our cannons firing on this cav. I kind of don't like the way they're just running around with impunity. Let's go ahead and get this unit moved up. Get the 2nd Ohio moved up. I'm going to have our artillery shoot on the skirmishers, actually, just because they're probably going to be a bigger threat. Okay. I figured there'd be resistance up here. I didn't know that it would be a unit of skirmishers and a full infantry unit. I was expecting one or the other, but definitely not both. Getting these units closer. Get them closer. They'll do more damage. What are we equipped with? All of these units have muskets, so they're definitely not going to be effective at range. We definitely want them up close and personal, dishing out as much damage as they can. And we've been given 6-pounder field guns here. They're not going to be all that useful. I mean, they'll be useful up close, but definitely not at range. I'm going to see if I can't harass a little bit over here with Stockton. Again, trying to get more on the flank of this unit. These units are really fast about doing a 180. They just march forward and then turn right around. But if you can get on their flank, they have a little bit of a harder time repositioning to fire. So I was trying to do that, but I definitely, well, took a little bit of damage there. Not a lot, but we did take some, so I'm not happy about that, but that's okay. Now let's see if we can get our units in order over here. I might actually try to keep all 4 over here because we're gonna have a really hard time trying to cross here with 2 units watching this river crossing. And unfortunately, the river crossing has all of the drawbacks of the bridge, but they're even greater because you're dealing out less damage and you're moving even slower. So unless we were able to dislodge them from the forest, this is going to be a very difficult crossing to make. Not one that I want to take. I'm actually going to have my artillery focus on. I'm going to have my artillery move up first of all because we're going to be firing shot, and that is not ideal in my book. I would rather be firing shell. It's going to do more damage. Ooh, I don't want to get caught out by them. So we've got an update here. It says the rebels withdraw to Henry Hill. General, we outnumber the enemy and we must keep pushing forward. The Confederates are establishing their defenses on top of this hill near Henry's farm. General Jackson has been spotted with fresh troops coming from the south. We must break this hill's defenses before the arrival of rebel reinforcements, awaiting your orders to attack. Well, we are certainly attempting to attack. So let's go ahead and get these units marching. We'll get these 2 over here. We'll give them these 2 artillery batteries. But I definitely want the maybe I'll have another additional 2 units kind of come over here, and then the rest of them, these 3, I definitely want to make an attack on this hill here because we know they've got at least 2 units here, and we want to take it. It's going to give us a really good viewpoint to survey the rest of the battlefield. We've got a lot of they have a lot of soldiers over here, and honestly, not utilizing them very efficiently with their cavalry front and center like that. I can't see the wisdom in that. But let's make sure our artillery is advancing. Let's take these 2 pieces over here. Let's make sure our units are still advancing, and I call them our units because these are the units that we brought in with us, whereas these units here, they are loaned to us for this mission. They will not be coming with us afterwards. So I want to get my money's worth out of them for sure, but it doesn't matter as much the damage that they take. Looks like Stuart's cavalry is here, good for them. That doesn't really matter too much to us, because Stuart is definitely not going to be crossing the bridge, and if they do, well, that is a massive mistake. I'm going to bring our cavalry down here, see if we can't attack these skirmishers, which somehow got into the river. I'm going to bring up Trigger. I want him to do some scouting for us. Totally fine for general units to do a little bit of scouting, take a little bit of damage. They're not easily going to be wiped out, so totally fine. Let's get these artillery moving. Let's get the supply wagon moving. Looks like Stockton is down here after fleeing from that other unit. So everything's progressing really well over here. We'll take a look back over here and see what's going on. Captured this skirmisher unit, which was in an unfortunate position. Unfortunate for them, good for us. Good. Everyone is firing. Generally, we're trading evenly. 2nd New York is trading really well, but everyone else is pretty much even. Which is fine. Trading evenly in this situation is totally fine. Get these units moving up. Make sure Stockton's in position, ready to go. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. I drew a line because I wanted them to move up like this, and as you can see, Wilcox, which should be on the right side of this line, is for some reason going to the middle. So I think they could have done a little bit better with the pathfinding, I guess it would be in this game. Um, but that is one of my few criticisms. Otherwise, I really enjoy this game and think it's been really well done. Um, I was actually thinking the other day that I haven't played uh, Ultimate General American Revolution. I've seen some mixed things on it, so that doesn't make me eager to go out and get it. Maybe one day if it's on sale at a significant discount, I'll pick it up. But honestly, I thought that they could just do a lot of the things that they did here with the Civil War and just turn it into different time periods, right? They could do the Napoleonic Wars, Seven Years' War. I think that there's a lot that you could do with this industrial and pre-industrial era of warfare. But that's just my 2 cents. Things are still going well over here. Still taking a lot of fire. Looks like we are exchanging fire for the most part of these units. Still haven't run into the enemy over here, which is a little annoying. I definitely wanted to see them by now. I wanted to be engaged. Let's move trigger up. Keep this artillery moving up. Keep Stockton moving up. Looks like we'll be able to cross over into this next piece of land. I'm not sure what you would call this exactly. I guess it's a peninsula looking guy. Although a peninsula might have to be surrounded by sea or ocean, whereas this is a river. Okay, we've caught sight of some artillery, so I'm going to see if we uh, can't have Stockton run them down a little bit. I'm not sure if I'll have Stockton charge in because I don't know. They'll probably have infantry on the banks over here, and I definitely don't want Stockton getting chewed up by enemy fire. And we've got Thomas Jackson's brigade appears to be establishing a defensive position on Henry Hill. This is, of course, the legendary Confederate general Stonewall Jackson. And it is actually at this battle, the first Battle of Bull Run, where he earned his nickname of Stonewall. And legendarily, this is because he was holding a position and things weren't looking so great in the beginning, but he held out against difficult odds, fighting Union troops, and it was said that he stood like a stone wall, and so that nickname stuck. And I mean, it is a pretty cool nickname. Everyone, a lot of people know him as Stonewall Jackson. So there's certainly worse nicknames to have. Looks like Hampton's Legion came charging across, and we're for the most part rebuffing that attack. Oh, and they surrendered, which is massive because this is a unit with a lot of veterancy. So I'm glad we were able to capture them. Less glad that we just took full-on canister from this artillery unit. I was hoping that we could rout them with our dragoons, but that does not seem to be the case. So we'll have these 3 units come over here, provide support for our units on the bridge. They're not on the bridge, but looking to make a crossing over here. But that's not going to happen until we get through the stiff resistance that they're putting up, for sure. Oops. Artillery is stationary, don't want that. I want them to continue to move up. Actually, I want them to assist over here. I'll have Scales and Morris look to join our attack on Henry Hill over here. And Stockton is still taking so much damage. Make sure our wagons are coming up, but I don't want them resupplying right now. Okay, let's get Stockton out of there. That was not great for him. He traded pretty evenly with that artillery unit. He's probably also getting hammered by other artillery. But at the very least, we shattered that unit, which is good. That's one less enemy to have to worry about. Get our artillery in position. Let's cross over to this side of the river. Oh, we had another charge. Let's get the 2nd Ohio in there. I don't want them running into our artillery, although it looks like they did. Either these skirmishers were able to hit my artillery, or these units were able to get in melee. But our artillery is routing. There's apparently skirmishers over here. I don't know how that happened. This battle is a mess. This battle is an absolute mess. I'm sorry you have to see it. You hate to see it. But this is also kind of messy, having their artillery front and center with the infantry as the rear guard. That is not the move. That is certainly not the move. And we're bringing in one of our cavalry units to help over here. I'd really like to get them in the mix over here before this unit recovers. And now these skirmishers have somehow routed my 600-man infantry brigade, which I don't understand, but so be it. Make sure all these guys are over here in the fight. Get this artillery up here in the fight. Get this artillery a lot closer. So we know they had a unit in the woods over here. I want to position to be able to hit them. Let's get these guys over here. Let's get Morris coming down. We will shatter this unit of skirmishers. And then I'm going to bring down this this New York brigade. They're in pretty good condition, so I think I will bring them down through the woods. And they'll be able to shoot from cover this unit over here. And our artillery has rallied, which is perfect. Taking a lot of losses over here, that's okay. Let's have Sherman come and help over here. Franklin. Stockton can now come and help. Man, our artillery is moving so slowly. I'm not sure why that is. But yeah, let's definitely get Sherman over here able to fire on their flank. We'll get Stockton there first, for sure. Oh, and so the 2nd, 27th Virginia is actually It's coming across over here. It looks like there is actually a you can actually just cross over here and then cross over and get behind Henry Hill, which is interesting. I've played this battle, I don't know, 10 times or so, and I never noticed this. So you learn something new every time you play. Absolutely. I want to get Stockton into a position over here. We're getting hit by artillery, which is great, and Stockton is actually wounded, which is awesome. That's because they have a bunch of artillery over here. Fantastic. Well, let's get Stockton out of danger. It's very disappointing. So it looks like that unit isn't here anymore, which is good. We'll bring up everybody else to fire upon the defenders. We want to focus on these guys holding the fortification, take them out, and then we'll be able to move up. We'll countercharge here. And it's looking like we're not going to win, even though we have twice as many men. But I'm going to go ahead. I want to send... Oh, they're routing. I was going to send Stockton in, but if Franklin's unit is routing, that is not good. We don't want to send these guys into a losing fight, but we will continue to fire upon them, and hopefully the 1st Louisiana Tigers will rout. And when they rout, I think I will charge my cavalry in, but not right now. Not until they start routing. Let's check on this. It's looking good. Maybe we can come in and get a pistol shot on their side. Walton's taking a little bit of damage, but it's not too serious. Scales is taking some damage. Oh, Morris has taken serious damage. Let's get him to come back a little bit, and let's get this artillery over here. Let's try to get this artillery to focus fire a little bit. We really want to break. We really want to start breaking these units so that we can begin to take more advantage of our matchups, but that is just not working out for us yet. Where have I got Trigger? Here he is. Let's bring him up so that our units are getting better morale. These units are wavering, which is good. That means they're going to be pretty ineffective. And I'm going to charge into them with the 2nd New York. Hopefully this unit will then rout, or we can just force them to rout with a cavalry charge. And these two working together will do a lot of damage. And we'll see if that unit shatters or if it surrenders. Perfect. Unfortunately, I'm not doing a great job of microing Stockton. He is just getting the crap beat out of him, which is really unfortunate. But on the bright side, we did manage to take out the defenders at this bridge crossing. So we will bring them up. We'll bring this cavalry over, move these units up. We can move our artillery across. And ideally, we can try to capture these supplies. And something that's really fun is your general can actually go and capture enemy supplies. So that's what I'm going to try to do, because there's nothing too serious over here at the moment that's going to cause us grief. Let's pull back Stockton, because I don't want him getting shot by this unit. Now I've got Scales taking quite a bit of damage over here. Let's get all these units across. Let's get him across. Let's get these scouts across. Okay, and this is perfect, because now these guys are just shooting it out. I want to get... Okay, they're turning to focus on Stockton, which is good. I can make them back off and it wastes their time. Unfortunately, we aren't seeing too much success up here, which is very, very unfortunate. I was hoping that we could break through over here and then start to fire on these units in the woods from the side, from the flank. We'd be doing a lot more damage to them. See if we can't take out these skirmishers with a volley. Unfortunately, we didn't, but we did do significant damage, which I'm happy with. I'm going to run these scouts across, see if we can't capture these supplies. Otherwise, we're doing pretty fine. I'm a little worried about Sherman. He's a little caught out. But at last, we are starting to break through their center. Let's move up this artillery. Let's get everyone firing on units in the woods. Let's get Morris over here joining the fight. Looks like we captured the supplies. Excellent. Let's bring more guns to bear. Let's bring this artillery up. Let's get this cavalry over here. Oh, there's a charge coming. Let's get everyone. Let's get everyone to fire on that charge as much as possible. Let's get Trigger over here. Let's pull this unit of cavalry back so that they can join in the melee. Good, they're wavering, they're routing. We'll send this cavalry in to help finish the job. Stockton's having just a jolly old time over here. And that unit has surrendered. We'll take them and put them with the rest of the POWs. Oh, and unfortunately, oh man, our artillery is not having a good day over here. I missed this charge. Oh man, I missed this charge. We might have our artillery shatter here, which is extremely unfortunate. I really hope that they don't, but they did. Oh, that is very frustrating. That is very frustrating. Okay, well, I'm just so dejected now that we lost that artillery like that. Well, that's fine. The battle goes on. We knew we were going to take losses. This was always part of the plan. I just didn't know it had to be like this. Okay, let's get these men across over here, helping Keyes, helping Sherman. Let's get all of our diversionary units lined up and in order. We'll supply them because I know they were fighting for a while, so they're probably low on what they need. And unfortunately, Hampton's Legion has decided to run to our rear, which is not great. But we're gonna see if our scouts can't try to keep them routing. Let's stop and take a shot. Okay. And then we will have them keep going and charge into them. And so now that will do a lot of damage. I still can't believe I lost those 2 artillery units. That is so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Alright, we're gonna send these guys to the gulag over here. That's where they deserve to be after all the damage that they caused. We'll start crossing the river over here so that we can look to hit these units on the flank or in the rear. It just kind of depends on how they're turned. Let's move up our artillery. This one can even go across the river. We want to always incrementally be moving up artillery, just making sure that they are using shell. Oh man, that's shot. We want them using shell, so actually we should have them cross the river. They're going to be much more effective using shell ammunition. And now here we're just going to try to envelop the Confederate forces. It looks like they're all concentrated up here. Getting some nice firearm stats there, love it. Let's keep getting these men across. They're all in fairly, well, these 2 aren't in great condition, but these 2 are in fairly good condition. Let's bring over this supply wagon. Accidentally ran into some skirmishers, but that's okay. Where's Trigger? Trigger's over here. Making sure the men are happy. Making sure they're in good spirits. We want all of our artillery across the river and in a good position to fire. Where's my other unit? Here we go. Bring them up. I think we're going to have, maybe these 2 units can help out here and here. These 2 units I'm just going to be bringing around, trying to come around from the southern part of this army, around the rear. And we need to get these scouts out because they did a great job fighting these skirmishers, but they're now drawing a lot of attention from the enemy, and we just don't need them there anymore. Otherwise, this is looking pretty good. We can try to rework this line so that it looks better. Man, the 1st Louisiana Tigers, they are just a thorn in my side at the moment. because I would really like to free up Franklin to come and help. Okay, they took their volley. We're going to charge them in. We're going to have Stockton over here to help as much as possible. Let's bring this cavalry around. Now, Sherman is retreating. That is expected because, yeah, because they were tired, they had lower morale, they are a more inexperienced unit. We've got Keys breaking over here. Yeah, it looks like there were Confederate charges throughout the line. Unfortunately. But that's okay. On the whole, we are still doing pretty okay here. Waiting for Stockton to take a shot whenever he's ready. I don't know. Go ahead. Anytime now. There we go. But I am going to have him retreat because I'm afraid B is going to turn and fire on him, which I do not want. Is not part of the plan. See how these guys are doing on ammunition. They're not doing great. Let's bring the supply wagon over. Oh, I already have my own over here that I just need to bring up, and I need to turn the artillery supply on. But despite some setbacks we've had here in the center, we are generally doing fine. Again, we lost those two artillery batteries, which I'm frustrated about. But on the whole, this is going fine. And we're just slowly closing in around the Confederate forces. Painstakingly slow, but it is happening. Great, and with our two cavalry charges, we routed this unit. It should shatter soon. Okay, there we go. And now we can bring Franklin up. We'll get these scouts to retreat. We're still working on destroying this artillery unit, which is really frustrating, but let's go ahead and bring Trigger down. We're having more morale problems down here, so it'd be more useful to have him down here. And the Confederates are seeing that we're pretty thin over here, so they are charging into us. Less than ideal, but what are you gonna do? Make sure our soldiers keep advancing. Make sure our artillery is keeping up with the pace of the advance. Yeah, this is just Messy, messy, messy. That's okay. We've cleaned up another unit of skirmishers. Very happy about that. Looks like a unit of Confederate infantry shattered over here. We're slowly closing in on them. They are fighting desperately, but we are slowly but surely getting it done. Let's try to weaken that charge as much as we can. Get as many people firing on it as we can. See, part of the problem is that a lot of our units are much less experienced than theirs. Like, look at Wilcox. He's got no perks, right? He's got very little veterancy, and he's fighting a unit that's got 2 stars of veterancy, so that is not great. We even got the skirmishers getting into melee with us for some reason. I mean, this is just bloody, it's messy, but we're getting it done. Slowly but surely. I'm going to turn off hold fire here. And let's get these units moved up. I want Keyes definitely over here fighting B. Well, Keyes 2nd Brigade. Keyes 1st Brigade can move a little bit further down to help out here. Let's try to get these men a little bit more spread out so that they're able to fire more effectively, engage more effectively. Let's move this artillery up. See if we can't spread out just a tad over here. Bring them around. Get this cavalry moving. And where are those stolen supplies? Here they are. Taking a lot of fire here, but that's okay. I want to be able to get a volley off, and I kind of messed it up. They were mid-volley, and I told them to stop because I didn't think they would fire until I told them to stop. So that was a bit of a misplay, but oh well. I'm going to do the same thing here. Very nice. Have them retreat. Look, we got a charge coming in over here. We've taken Henry Hill, which is our victory condition. So I am very glad we have done that. And now we just need to keep the pressure up. Unfortunately, a lot of our units are tired or they're exhausted, and it is really hurting their ability to move effectively. Let's get Stockton backing off because these skirmishers are going to fire. Let's keep everyone needs to keep moving up. Keep moving up. Keep pushing them back. Keep pushing them back. Move up to here. You move up to here. And now that these skirmishers don't have anyone watching out for them, we can go ahead and charge into them. Clear one more unit from the battlefield. Oh man, this artillery is painfully slow when they're exhausted. Painfully slow. But this all seems to be going well. Slowly breaking them down. This pocket here is actually not even that strong anymore. Most of the resistance is over here, funny enough. I'm gonna bring these 2 cavalry units in, and I'm going to have them charge into this melee. I saved the charge on this shock cav unit for this moment. I might have the 1st Brigade come around and fire into the flank of B just for fun, just because this brigade they're not going to be all that effective in melee with 82 or 83 entities. But I still wanna get a use out of them, and taking out 3 soldiers, that is getting a use out of them. Now B is going to be surrounded, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted. Stockton is just getting to free fire, basically, on whatever he wants. And it looks like their infantry is coming right into these units that I have here. So I'm going to charge them in, take what we can. Hopefully this other unit surrenders, that would be great. Doesn't look like he's too keen on surrendering yet, but maybe soon. See if I can't. Okay, great. He did surrender. So I believe one of the mechanics of this mod is that the more enemy units there are near one unit, the more likely they are to surrender. So if I have 3 of my units near an enemy unit and this unit's morale is failing them, then it is likely that they will surrender. Not guaranteed, of course, but it becomes more likely the more units you have there. And I believe if you have friendly units nearby, they become less likely to surrender. Pretty neat. And who knows, that might just be part of the base Ultimate General Civil War, but I thought the mod tweaked the surrender mechanics a little bit more. I'm telling everyone to hold fire because I just don't want my cavalry getting slaughtered. But we are on to the next phase now, which is the Confederates' counterattack. General, our men are exhausted from the continuous fight, and more rebels are coming. We should stop our advance and hold our ground. Well, don't need to tell me twice. I know my men are dreadfully exhausted. So let's try to get into a defensive position, recover some of our morale and fatigue. Those are both not doing so great. We'll go ahead and make sure our men are getting resupplied. We need to get our cannons into position. I'm still so mad that I lost my 2 units. Oh, that's so frustrating. I knew that I had a rookie unit defending them, but I didn't think it would get broken so easily. It's okay. We live and we learn. We won't make that mistake again. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyway, we are now trying to get men in position. It might be a little ambitious to expect them to hold a line over here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe we will lower our expectations a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, oh dear. I was going to say I wanted to get them on the flanks to hit over here, but that is looking less feasible at the moment. So let's just go ahead and have them take up a defensive position right here. Get their stamina back as much as they can, because they will fight significantly better if we can help them recover from their fatigue. These guys here. Let's have these 2 units. They aren't as battered. Hold these woods. Let's get you and you over here, where you're less likely to get in a fight. Palmer's holding these woods. Walton's backing him up. Got Loomis and Scales providing support. I really want to get this artillery in position. And I need to make sure Trigger is around here. He's up there for some reason. But I can see them charging, which they are doing. Oh, and we need to get these supplies out of here. And where is Stockton? I want Stockton over here as well. I want all of this artillery trying to help out as much as they can. Got more enemy units coming in, which is not great. Being worried about our POW camp. I'm going to try to bring them a little bit closer. Unfortunately, we've got both Scales and Loomis who are routing, but so are the Confederates. And we do have more men than them, so we can hold up a little bit better given the circumstances, but I still don't love my men taking so much damage from that double charge. It's like they're breaking over here. Got my cavalry over here. Let's bring my guy here to resupply Stockton because he's just going through ammunition like crazy. It is not a problem. He's definitely getting a lot of firearm, which I appreciate. Just want to get these men in better positions. Walton is doing well. Let's get him to help out Palmer down here. Loomis and Scales have both recovered, which is good. Let's go ahead and bring this artillery down. Bring this artillery way down. I want Howard coming up and engaging here. Okay. Looks like there's a charge coming. Let's make sure we're focused on that charge. It's really far away, so it looks like they stopped. But it looks like this one is just beginning. Well, I know I said before that 2 extra brigades probably wouldn't make much of a difference, but I'm only slightly regretting that. I do wish I had a couple of extra brigades. I'm gonna have Scales and Loomis relocate. Bring in our cavalry over here to help fight off this charge. I don't know how we're getting flanked. I don't know who's shooting me in the so-called flank. But I need to get my cavalry out of there. They're taking some heavy losses. Yeah, we're having a lot of fights all over the line. Well, this is definitely brutal. Honestly, I usually play on the easiest difficulty, and even normal is really giving me a run for my money here. This is something. Oh, and these units are so slow. So we had one of our units surrender. It's not great. I'm gonna see if I can't go in and get him. Oh no! I think this was a unit that we had captured, and the enemy made contact with them. So now they're out of prison. Just making sure all of our artillery is locked on and fighting somebody. Let's get these units further up. And where's Trigger? Morris is over here fighting skirmishers. Skirmishers are putting up a fight. Palmer has done extremely well considering he's just armed with this with these muskets. I'm extremely impressed by how they've done. Performing well above what they should be. I gotta move the POWs, man. They're making me nervous over here. Gotta resupply our artillery. They're starting to get low on ammunition. But overall, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. I think I want Morris to come back a little bit more. I'm gonna keep Bloom over here restocking Stockton. Trigger keeps running away. It says we've only lost 20% of our army, which really isn't too bad considering what it feels like. It feels like we have just gotten absolutely thrown into the meat grinder. But at the same time that we're getting ground down, they are also getting ground down. They just cannot voice their frustrations like I can about being ground down into nothing. Of course, this battle was also made more difficult by losing my 2 artillery units, as well as the 2 diversionary artillery units that we were given, so there were some serious misplays there, and we would have been doing a lot better were it not for that. Maybe not a lot better, but we would at least have artillery over here that could help push these guys out of the woods. Palmer has come out of the woods a little bit. I want him to come back into the woods and enjoy that that nice cover bonus. Yeah, what's going on over here? We got Walton. Oh boy. Yeah, let's keep all these units to help with that. Excellent. We've got Smith wavering. on the verge of routing. Definitely want that. Wilcox held up. We shattered those skirmishers. Don't like Stockton getting shot up like that. We are slowly pushing them back. Ever so slowly. Man, I just cannot get a break here when it comes to Stockton. I want him in the fight, but every time he gets close, they just start firing on him. It's okay. We'll back off. We'll let Holmes turn to deal with Morris or Williams or whoever it might be. And then we will recommit Stockton to the fight. So now we're bringing up Stockton because both Holmes and Ewell are looking to fire this way, which is great. We want to fire on their flank. Try to get maximum damage. Looks like Ewell is wavering. Fantastic. Let's keep making it hard on them. For all of these 6-pounders, they're not fantastic. They're not getting great results, but they are acceptable given the circumstances. And now we really just need a Smith's brigade to shatter down here, and then we'll be able to come up the flank here from on their left flank. And there it is. Let's get Sherman around here. Let's get Franklin here, Keyes here, Howard here. We want to try to spread this line around so that we're getting more units in the fight, because as you can see, we've got like Keyes here who isn't able to really participate well, and we need to make it so that he can participate. Man, the resistance up here is super stubborn. Down here we're having a better go at it, but up here they are very stubborn. And part of that is that this unit is completely in the woods, this unit's half in the woods. And that's just making it really difficult. We'll get another shot in here with Stockton, and then I'm going to pull him back again. Again, we want to waste their time, right? Keep them turning, keep them turning. Don't really let them get off any shots. Now I'm going to have my cavalry come around and charge into this unit. Oh, now they're wavering. That's not great. I definitely am I'm less eager to charge into a unit that is wavering than one that is routing. Cool, we shattered that unit. I am happy with how Stockton is performing. This is pretty good, but now I'm also thinking, oh, maybe I should have had them go shock cavalry instead. Because they have been very useful in these situations, harassing the enemy, but this shock cavalry has been so effective in actually shattering or causing units to surrender. They've been doing so much. I do want them to fall back though. I admit they've been doing great, but standing there and having just letting yourself get shot by an infantry brigade is not going to do it for you. Although now that they are routing, that is although I don't like how they're still firing on me, though they're supposed to be routing. They're probably more in actually like a wavering state. Because if they're routing, they shouldn't be able to fire. Okay, 14 minutes to clean up this fight. I think I was hoping we'd be able to destroy all of the rebel units. It's looking like that's not going to happen, but we can still take as many as possible. We're going to move this artillery around. really glad that Ewell just doesn't care about Stockton anymore, and that Stockton is just able to free fire on their right flank. That is awesome. Glad I don't have to micromanage them anymore. I'm going to move Walton into a closer position. Looks like Ewell's 1st Brigade is responding to that. Not a big fan. Good. We want to make them think that we're coming at them with our shock cavalry, but we're really not. We're just making them turn. We are going to take a shot on them. I don't think they should have been able to hit me like that, but they were for some reason able to hit me from that weird position. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter a whole lot what I think they should or shouldn't have been able to do. They were able to. It looks like they're finally turning to fire on Stockton. I want Stockton to get off one last volley, and then I will call him back. And I wanted to wrap them up a little bit more, but we will go ahead and finish out the battle here. And so the Confederate forces, they did bring more men, which would explain a lot. We were even on cavalry. We had the artillery advantage. And we did have about a 2-to-1 casualty ratio. Everything else, cavalry were pretty much even. Guns, we had a little bit of advantage there. But I am very disappointed in losing those artillery units. I'm hoping that they aren't completely disbanded. I'm hoping that we're not starting from scratch with them. But we will see about that. Let's look at what we've collected here. So we captured a lot of muskets, which is nice and all. They're not the best, but at least there's something. Oh, we captured a lot of these Springfield M1842s. Captured supplies. Recovered some of our artillery. Let's go ahead and look at what the damage is here. Okay, so thankfully our artillery units survived. They shattered in that last fight, but they are not completely destroyed, which is what I was afraid of, and I would have pulled my hair out if that had been the case. One of the good things, though, about winning a major battle is that you get 2 career points, whereas for the minor battles, you're only going to be getting 1 career point. And so we're going to need to invest this probably in army organization because we're going to want to bring more brigades into the fight, more divisions. And so I am going to be probably investing in that. I'm going to look at how many units we can bring into these fights. This one we can bring 15. That's substantial. I'm going to look at river crossing. This one we can also bring 15. So let's go ahead and if we put 1 point in, we'll be able to bring 12 units. If we put 2 points in, we will be able to bring the full 15 because this one we've got 3 divisions by 4 brigades, that's 12. And here they're going to give us an extra brigade per division. So I might just put both of our points into army organization so that we can bring the full 15 units. Just because I'm definitely not feeling as strong or as confident as I thought I would be. So let's go 2 points into army organization. We'll go ahead and look at what's going on here. Now this is really important because now we're really going to be deciding whether we want Stockton to be a unit of dragoons or a unit of shock cavalry. After that last fight, we definitely saw the power of shock cavalry, but I'm thinking we're probably going to want them, considering their hefty firearms stat that they got at the Battle of Bull Run. I'm thinking we're going to turn them into dragoons. So I'm really liking musketry drills. Mounted scouts isn't bad. The accuracy boost is pretty decent. We get a better accuracy boost here and a little bit of a reload time reduction. So I think I'm going to go with that. And let's look at our artillery stores. Lots of howitzers, parrots, 3-inchers. Able to buy a lot of Napoleons. So I am glad that we are going to be able to beef up our artillery after that last battle. So I'm going to put them at, I'm going to bring them up to 10 guns, which is what they were at Bull Run. Unfortunately, Meager didn't get a lot of experience, so I'm going to put him at, I'm going to put him at 7, just so we get that perk. And we want to have improved shells so that our shot and shell damage is better, and effective range is also going to affect how much damage we're doing. The further out our effective range is, the better our damage curve becomes. And then we're going to have to outfit 2 whole new divisions, which is going to be pricey. I could... So as you can see here, my morale is high enough to where I'm actually getting a 2 morale boost for my units. But after that last battle, I might have to start spending morale on, or I should say reputation on equipment here. Being able to kit out a whole brigade, maybe even 2, with really good rifles like the Lorenz could be good. But let's just try to deck out these units and see what happens. And so whenever I am building a division, just something I like to do is I like to have 3 infantry brigades, a unit of artillery, and then kind of like a specialty unit. So here I think I'm going to make some cavalry, and we're gonna put Stockton back here. But we will... I don't know if I need a lieutenant colonel running my cavalry. So I am going to go with this major, Duchesne. Maybe I'll go with a higher ranked major. I'll go with a very high ranked, or very close to hitting lieutenant colonel major. And we'll create a shock cavalry unit. And let's see at what point our efficiency starts falling off. Honestly, we can get up to 400, so let's do that. And with Meager, or sorry, Stockton, let's put some rookies in here, I'm thinking, just for cost savings. And then the rest we will put some veterans in here for sure. It looks like 350 is that sweet. Well, we don't have enough veterans, so we'll go ahead and just go back up to 300 here. We took a little bit of an efficiency hit, and that is probably because our division commander is only a colonel, whereas here he's a brigadier general. So that's why we were able to put more men in here, even though their commanding officer is only a major, whereas we have a lieutenant colonel here. The divisional commander is actually helping a lot with this. Here we're going to need another infantry unit, so I'll just do that. Let's look at what else we have. We have muskets, which are really not good. But maybe we'll save the muskets for if we run out of Springfields. Let's go ahead and equip our men here. I think Scales did pretty well, right? Took out 1,000, Loomis 700, Walton. Walton had an extremely good battle. So let's go ahead and feed whatever veterans we have left into Walton. And I'm going to put some rookies in here. We are going to see his stats start to fall off a lot, but I want to get him back up to like 1,200, which is I believe is where he was at, right? Yes. And so I don't know if adding in all those rookies brought him back down all the way to where he was before. I hope it didn't. I'm hoping he still had some gains from that last battle. I mean, considering they killed, Walton's unit killed 1,800 soldiers, I hope that they're able to retain some of that experience that they gained. Loomis was at 1,400 soldiers. We'll see about getting back up to that again. Yeah, honestly, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, so that's fine. He's equipped with Springfields, which are good. Honestly, let's just take a look at the stats here. 41, 47, 20, 30. I'm going to go ahead and Scales is going to take a sizable hit here, especially if we were to put them back at 1,600. I don't think I will. I think I'll put them at 1,500. But I definitely want to switch out their weapons for Walton. I think Walton is going to more efficiently use these Mississippis. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll give him... I should have done this the other way around. Oops. Oh well. So I did a little bit more clicking there than I really needed to, but so be it. I have 2 Palmers. That's definitely not confusing. Having 2 Palmers. We can go ahead and pretend they're brothers, maybe, or This guy's looking a little older. Maybe it's like father and son. And it looks like the son was in battle and wrote to his father about how disastrous the first Battle of Bull Run was. So decided to call up Dad. And Dad said, "You know what? They need me. I'm coming out of retirement. I'm here for the fight." We'll go ahead and put Palmer at, let's do 1300. I think that sounds like a good number. Morris, I'll do 1200. There really isn't a rhyme or reason for the numbers that I'm picking other than I like nice round numbers.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we're doing. I will say, I think I will give Palmer these reboard muskets. They are a little bit better. Uh, they're a little bit better firearms because their effective range is longer, whereas the effective range on this is only 340. So these are going to be a little bit more ineffective firearms. But let's go ahead and get our new divisional commanders up and running. Here, I want a colonel, and I want an infantry brigade. And actually, having a colonel is very good. You can put a bunch of men in here, and they're not going to hurt the efficiency until you start getting up into that 2000 range. But keep them at 1200. We'll do the same here. Get a major at 1200. And last but not least, we'll grab another major. This one I'm going to kit out with the muskets, just because I don't want to have to buy more of those Springfields. If we've got enemy firearms, we might as well use them, and they are going to be a little less effective than these Springfields, but oh well. And here we'll go with a higher captain. We'll do the Springfield, or sorry, the 6-pounder field cannon. And then I kind of want to kit him out with the Parrot guns because these aren't great weapons, but I think I said this before. They're going to be pretty average, um, no matter who's using them, right? And by that I mean even an inexperienced unit is going to see usefulness out of them. They aren't going to be like a high skill ceiling type weapon like maybe the howitzers. The howitzers, if you have really good artillery crews, these are absolutely devastating. But these 10-pounder pairs, they're going to perform fine, kind of no matter the situation. And I'm going to go ahead and give them 10 guns. That just seems good to me. And last but not least, we need our skirmishers. We are going to let this be a captain. And we want to give them half decent weapons. So maybe I will give these skirmishers the Lorenz. They're not going to be extremely effective in the beginning, but they will get better. So we'll go ahead and have have 325 of these guys. And then Stockton did really well in that last battle. I want to give him a better carbine than these Sharps M1859s. So let's see if we've got anything better. The Merrill is better. Okay, these three carbines are certainly better, but there's not enough of them in stock. And so I would give this unit the Merrill, but the only problem is there's not a lot of them. And so if Stockton takes a lot of casualties and loses a lot of these weapons in the next upcoming minor battles, that is going to be very bad for losing those. So at the moment, I think we will probably keep the Sharps as our weapon of choice, because these two are extremely similar, but I think the Sharps is just a tad bit better. As you can see, for the base tip, the Smith has both a lower high point and a lower low base damage. So the Sharps in general are going to be putting out more damage. And then as for the damage curve on their effective range, it looks like the Sharps is also a little bit better there. So we're just gonna keep the Sharps carbine, although I certainly wish that we could give them something better. Let's go ahead and look at melee equipment real quick. And so when we get into the major battle, we can kit them out with this Colt 1860 army, but for right now, we're just going to leave it be. We're going to increase our supply, and next time, let's see, I want to do I think there was a defense mission. Was it this one, Logan's Crossroads? Yes, this is a defense mission, and the other was a assault mission, I believe. Indeed. So, my plan is we'll do the defense mission, and we're going to do that because, in my opinion, it is easier to defend than it is to attack, and we have a lot of green, fresh rookie units. So I want them to get some experience here in a defense mission, and then we'll go into the assault mission once they're a little bit more seasoned. All right, so next time we'll go ahead and play Crossroads, and yeah, just see what happens. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.